get the leads coming in, to actually sending offers in, to actually doing the walkthrough and picking up your commission check. That's it, start to finish. That is exactly how I get my leads, and that's how I did 250 deals last year and made $500,000 in commission. Hey guys, it's Andy Coleman, and I'm going to do a video today about lead generation and how I increased my income over the years as a brand new realtor. When I started doing real estate, it was about 3 years ago in 2019, at the very end of 2019. So I was a brand new realtor and I didn't have any kind of network built up, any sphere of influence. You know, I might have known like 5 people in Florida at the time when I moved down here and really got into real estate. For me, it was really difficult getting leads. I was a brand new agent. I had no idea about any kind of lead generation whatsoever. So for me, I started off doing rentals. Here in South Florida, we have something called Any Broker Advertise. For Any Broker Advertise properties, I'm allowed to take that listing from the listing agent on my MLS, and I'm allowed to put it up on any site that I want. In the beginning, I was using Facebook Marketplace. It is free. You don't have to pay for it whatsoever. So I'll take you through the entire process, basically start to finish, of how I actually generate leads. And I get about anywhere from 50 to 200 leads per day. It depends on which properties I'm putting up, and it depends on which platform I'm using. Basically, I'm taking these Any Broker Advertise Yes properties. The listing agent is inherently giving me permission to do it by putting yes on my MLS. If you're in a market where it's different and you don't have that kind of, written permission on your MLS, all you have to do is reach out to the listing agent and ask them if you can advertise their property. If you can, fantastic, you can take it and put it up. In Florida, we have to put courtesy of the listing brokerage, and then I could just tell them to reach out to me because obviously I want all the leads coming into me. How this works is I'm gonna find a really nice property. I want something that is looking really, really sharp, really modern, really new. Obviously I'm not taking the pictures for the property, so I'm gonna have to depend on the listing agent's pictures, and obviously I'm getting permission, so there's no copyright infringement or anything. As long as I have permission, I can use their pictures, but I'm only picking out the ones that have really good pictures. I only really do 3 bedrooms and beyond. I learned a long time ago doing 2 bedrooms or 1 bedroom is not the best idea, because a lot of these people that are doing these 1 or 2 bedrooms, they're going to go to apartment complexes like leasing offices. So for those, yes, you can work with people that are doing leasing offices, apartment complexes, but they only give you a flat referral fee. For those, I used to get about $1,500 on average, and this was like years ago. I'm focusing on 3 bedrooms, 2 baths at the bare minimum. 4 bedrooms works even better. 5 bedrooms even better than that, because a lot of people really like these 3, 4, 5 bedroom homes. Depending on your market, maybe you could have 6 bedrooms, 7 bedrooms. I don't know. If you're somewhere in like Texas or something and you guys got a lot of land, the more bedrooms, typically the better. And in terms of price point, so price point's going to be huge. You have to really do your market research and see the average price of a 3 bedroom or 4 bedroom or whatever you're going to be focusing on. You got to see the average price in your market, because if you do under that average, you're going to get a ton of leads. Let's say in your market, the average is $3,000 for a 3 bed, 2 bath. If you post a property that's a 3 bed, 2 bath and looking really nice at $2,500, you're going to get a ton of leads streaming in. And this is because people think it's a really good deal. The property looks nice. It's a good price. You're going to get a ton of leads from that. Not every listing that you put up is going to get you an equal amount of leads. And at the end of the day, that's what this is about. It's about getting tons of leads coming in, because you're going to want to convert those leads coming in to clients of yours. It's great if you do get that one rented. That's fantastic. Once you get that all set up and you got your price point going, what I would do is I would vary in different areas, and you want to do within a 45-minute radius or whatever you want to drive. Me personally, I do about a 45-minute to an hour radius. That was the key. I wasn't farming specific areas. I was actually doing a massive radius. And the whole entire principle behind this is the more eyeballs that you have on you, the more lead possibilities you have, the more deals you're going to close. It's true. It really works this way. If you only do, let's say, like one town that you're in, you're not going to get nearly as many leads. So for me, I'm posting hundreds of listings and I'm doing all different price points. I might take a 3 bed, 2 bath and I might do $2,500 and then $2,800 and then $3,000, $3,500. And I might do that for each town around me. So I might have, let's say, 10 different towns around me that I'm going to be focusing on, and I'm doing about 10 different listings per town, but I'm varying the price range per property. When you do that, then you're going to have a different property for every single person's needs. Whatever it may be, like I said, in Florida, I know my market, but you have to do your market research to see what actually supports your market for the pricing. So once you figure that out, just vary the pricing, from the very minimum that you want to work with up to the very maximum. And then just put a bunch of listings. I recommend right around 10 per town, and vary the prices in between that. So depending on what they're actually going to be doing, then you're going to respond to them accordingly. If you're doing Facebook Messenger, then just get back to all of your message every day. I found that the faster you get back to your messages, the faster and easier you're going to get those leads, because those people are looking for properties usually right away within the next, week, 2 weeks, maybe ASAP, maybe 30 days. So the faster you respond to them, they might find another realtor. So you want to get back to them really, really quickly. Once you start getting back to people, you just want to start a dialogue. They're going to probably ask you, hey, I'm interested in 123 Main Street, whatever the property is. And then you're going to respond something like, oh, that's fantastic. When would you like to see it? Or you can come up with whatever kind of response you want. Me personally, I have clipboard scripts and dialogues and, like templates that I use so I can rapid fire out messages. Usually my first message to somebody, if they're asking me, hey, I love this property, I would love to see it, I usually like to say, hey, it's Andy Coleman with eXp Realty. It's a really competitive market. Yes, we can go and check this property out. But if you don't have a realtor, I can set you up on the MLS. I can show you other properties. This way, just in case you don't like this property or we don't get accepted for it, we have backup options. That's usually right around the first message that I'm going to be sending, or some kind of variation of that. This way, you're going to get their details so you can set them up on the MLS. And then let's just say they respond, hey, yes, that's great. I would love for you to help me out. I don't have a realtor right now. Then you say, great. What towns do you want to be in? How many beds and baths minimum? What price range? What's your credit? Do you have any evictions or felonies? Just so you can set them up on a search. And then obviously you're going to want to ask for their email address and their phone number if it's not already provided to you. If you're using Facebook Marketplace, a lot of times you'll have their full name, but not their email address or not their phone number. So you always want to ask for that as well, because you want to move them off of Facebook Messenger. So as soon as they give you all their details, you set up the search on the MLS, you email it to them, set them up on a subscription. So they're going to get all the new properties, and then you want to text them and then just say, hey, it's Andy Coleman. It was great chatting with you before. I just set you up on the MLS. I sent you 50 properties. I'm the rental expert in this area. I do 30 deals a month, whatever you want to say, and then just tell them to reach out to you once they find properties that they like. From there, they're going to reach out to you and say, hey, I just like so-and-so address. Then you have two choices right now. First option, you can tell them, hey, let's do a credit background eviction report. Send me your proof of income, your driver's license, all of that good stuff so I can pre-qualify you. Obviously, it's very competitive right now. We don't need to see the property first before we actually know if the owner is going to accept you. If the owner accepts you, then fantastic. We'll go see the property before we do any lease agreements or anything like that, or any deposits. You can say some kind of variation like that. I have a particular saying that I use, a template that I use every time somebody asks me to see a property. I just copy and paste it from my clipboard. But yeah, you can kind of get creative and do whatever works for you. This way, they're going to say, hey, that's a great idea. We don't have an extra hour per day to go and waste on seeing each property. If you explain it to them, a lot of times they'll say, yes, that's a great idea. So a lot of times, that's going to be their objection, but you're doing a third-party credit background report. The second option that you can do is you can go and show them the property. If they like it, you just need a credit background report, rental application, which is an all-in-one thing. And then you need proof of income, which could be pay stubs, bank statements, tax returns, offer letter, whatever you want to get for that. Just make sure they're making 3 times the rent and income, and then just a picture of their driver's license. And then you're going to write up a contract to lease. This could be different in whatever market you're in. Down here in South Florida, we have a contract to lease. It's about 3 pages. It's basically just the terms, the date that they want to move in, the address of the property, everybody's names, the price that we're going in for, whether we're going to give first, last, and security, or maybe additional months or less. So you want to put together that full package once they actually want that property, whether it's before when they're just doing the pre-screening and then you're sending in kind of like a pre-offer, or if it's after they've seen the property and they know they want it, same thing. You're putting together this package and then you're sending it over to the listing agent. The listing agent will then present it to the owner. So once the owner has said yes, Then if you hadn't shown them the property prior, then you go and quickly show them the property. And then if they like it, great, you move forward. If not, you tell the listing agent, never mind, we found another property, or whatever you want to say. If you had already shown the property, then fantastic. You get the lease done. If you have an HOA, you start on the HOA application process. You do a deposit. Usually it's first month's rent held in escrow by a title company. And then that's it. Down here in South Florida, we get half a month's rent commission for every rental property that we do. That's the average down here. Sometimes we're going to get a little bit more. Sometimes it's going to be a little bit less. Let's just say on average, you're doing 20 rentals per month and your commission check is $2,000 per rental. That's 40 grand per month in commission that you're bringing in. I'll actually show you different ways how I do over 100% commission. Check my other YouTube video. I actually dropped it before, and it's going to be labeled how you do over 100% commission. Once you're under contract, once you do the HOA application, once you do the deposit and all of that stuff, you're basically just sitting back and waiting. That's all you're doing. You're just waiting for the HOA to approve, or you're waiting for the walkthrough date, like the move-in date. And I always call it a walkthrough, but that's when you go and meet the owner at the property. Maybe the listing agent will be there. I'm going to be there as a tenant agent, and the tenant will be there. And then we'll walk through the property. We'll make sure everything looks just as good as it did when we saw the property originally. And then we'll exchange the final move-in funds for the keys. And then we might do like a walkthrough sheet or something like that. But other than that, that's all we're doing. And then we collect our commission check right then and there. And that's it. That's the whole process, basically, from start to finish of you're doing a rental, from actually putting the listing up to get the leads coming in, to actually sending offers in, to actually doing the walkthrough and picking up your commission check. That's it. Start to finish. That is exactly how I get my leads. And that's how I did 250 deals last year and made $500,000 in commission. So that's kind of basically my whole strategy of how I'm getting leads right now. It's kind of the way of how I increase my income. So I can talk a little bit about my income and how I increased it so fast and rapidly. I did about $80,000 my first year. My second year, I tripled that and did about $250,000. And my third year, I doubled that and did $500,000 in commission. And the way I did that was I started taking real estate more serious and started treating it more as a business in my second year. My first year, I was probably only working about 6 to 8 hours per day. Not that much. 8 hours probably would be a stretch for me in my first year. I was turning my phone off after 5 o'clock. I was going, out on the weekends where I wasn't really working that much. But my second year, I had a moment. I call it my Sabo moment. It was basically my girlfriend really convincing me, to give it my full effort. And once I did that, everything changed for me. That's when I tripled my business. I started working about 12 hours per day. I started getting back to the majority of my leads, not even everything yet, but I started responding to the majority of my leads, and I started treating this as a real business. And it worked. I did 250 grand. And I did about 180 deals after my first year, which is pretty incredible if you ask me. So then going into my third year, you're probably wondering, how did I double my 250? That's when I started working about 16 hours per day. And when I say 16 hours per day, I don't mean I'm working straight, like sitting at a computer desk for 16 hours a day. Obviously, I'm going and doing fun things. I'm eating food at nighttime, and dinner and watching movies at night and, things like that. Obviously, during the daytime, I'm mainly working. I mean, I might be going and doing errands and stuff, but I'm basically working. When I'm awake, I'm working. And that's about 16 hours. And, I'm sleeping for about 7 or 8 hours. Just when you're awake, always be working, always be responding to people, always be getting back to people, but you could still be taking like an hour, 2 hours here or there to like do other things. As long as you're like continually working, it's fine. As we're going as realtors, we're going to start getting a lot of referrals from our previous clients. They're going to like the way that we handled their deal. They're going to like us, and they're going to start referring us to their friends and family. And all the previous clients that we work with, some of them now, as I was saying before, they might want to buy a house, or maybe they want to rent a new property, whatever it may be. We're starting to get previous business coming back to us. Don't start relaxing. Now that you've made it, now that you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars per year, don't stop doing what got you there, okay? That's a huge mistake that people make. If you continue to do the marketing that you're doing, and then you're getting your referrals, and then you're getting, your previous clients that are working with you again, and you're getting their renters that are turning into buyers, and you're doing everything, then that's how you're going to start doubling and tripling every single year. If I stopped doing all of my marketing to my renters, I wouldn't have done $500,000 last year. I needed to continue doing that in order to double my income. And then this year, if I want to make $1 million this year, again, I can't stop what I'm doing. I have to continue to market to everybody and still get my referrals and everything else while I'm going along. I can't stop doing all of that, or else I might only make the same amount of money I did the previous year. So yeah, that's basically how I started doing my entire rental business and my buyer business, and how I'm going to start converting all of my renters into buyers. That's the whole way of all my lead generation. That's how I did it. And that's how I continue to do it. And it continues to work for me. I've taught other people how to do this. It's worked for them as well. If you apply yourself, if you're a hard worker and you're working smart, and if you're doing everything that you need to do, then you will most likely succeed. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed my journey over my past 3 years of how I got all my rental leads. Definitely stay tuned for the next videos. I'm going to be dropping them Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday, 3 times a week. If you liked the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon for notifications, and I'll catch everybody in the next one. All right, that was pretty good.